Okay, we're live.
Right.
Oh, were we talking? Well, I mean, I guess I don't really
There's a
care
lot of
what we talk about. Like, I mean, those are the the stuff that I texted you. That was the stuff I was kind of looking at that I thought was probably most interesting.
and I guess the Doomsday stuff may not be the most interesting.
Well, I don't like.
I
I
was
don't.
more so just saying that just so I could hear myself talk. We're good on audio,
Oh,
by the way.
great, great. Yeah, but I mean, I'm interested in seeing that movie out of like curiosity for what they're trying to do now.
Yeah,
But I don't know news wise what that would look like for us, you know?
yeah,
Um,
dude. We're
and
gonna
nobody's,
have to cover it. We're gonna have to
yeah.
watch it.
Oh, of course. Yeah. I mean,
Oh, we need to talk about it because they're cutting out everything from Phase 4, and Fred, we may have talked about this before, but they're cutting everything out from Phase 4 and
uh-huh.
just starting Doomsday directly from Endgame. In fact, they're re-releasing Endgame with some, I guess, additional scenes in there to make it flow
Oh,
better into
okay.
Doomsday.
I
And
saw
so I think
something
a
about that.
lot of people from Phase 4 are
That's
probably going
crazy.
to get killed off because it still has some of those characters in there in Doomsday.
Yeah, I heard about one in
But
particular.
hopefully they just kill the multiverse.
um, I still can't imagine it's gonna be like good or.
Sorry. I just came across that Washington is expected to lose, like the state of Washington is expected to lose $750 million in
Holy
tax revenue in the coming years
moly.
because of Starbucks expanding into Tennessee instead of Washington. And they also just added the city of Washington now, or excuse me, the city of Seattle, not Washington State, just added a millionaire's tax of like 9.9%, 10%, whatever it is.
Jeez.
Um, and I'm like, yeah, y'all are dumb.
It's over.
But that's pretty much what's going on with Marvel. I mean, the Doomsday uh, production budget has to be like
I've
Endgame was 500 million, and it's got to be like close
mm,
to a billion, like 700-800 million.
I've heard like the break even is somewhere in like the 800 million. I don't know like how true that is, you know. But yeah, that's the number that I've heard is like break even is like 800-ish. So you're talking about a movie that has to do. I mean, it has to do Spider-Man numbers
Yeah, I
pretty much.
mean,
Like Spider, it wasn't No Way Home.
okay. So
Um,
I've heard that the so reports indicate, and we know they always underestimate too,
yeah,
but
that's included
alleged
with
allegedly there's a few different sources. Some people are saying the $400 to $500 million range. With when you include, well, I guess with the production budget between 400 and 500 million. Then when you include marketing, you have 700 to 800 million. So
there has to be like there is no way there. I know that's like the general rule with marketing, but like, is there not? How do you spend as much on a Marvel movie? Like, do you see what you know what I'm saying?
yeah, well, the
It's
Russo
a
brothers are what costing them $80 million for direct, and then two movies, I think, though, and then that's Doomsday and Secret Wars, I want to say, and then or maybe it's 120, and then Robert Downing Jr. is $100 million total, 50 for both movies. Let me see.
where are they
That's
getting?
crazy, dude. That's just like, and that's not even including when you think about all the. Yeah, it's $80 million for the Russos to direct both movies, 100 million
Huh.
for Robert Downey Jr. Um, when you think about the entire cast in these movies, though, especially Doomsday, dude, that's like
But then,
easily I can see 700-800 million, which
yeah, for
means
the
the
yeah
break
for
even point is like what you're talking about, Spider-Man levels. Like, in order to make money, they would have to make probably somewhere in the range of 1.5 to $2 billion.
I mean, I'd have to see what I
I'll
mean.
consult
There's
the
some
knowledge of the knowledge of the book of knowledge and truth.
like I don't know how they're like the entire movie has to just be like random cameos. Like I can't in my mind understand it. That's why I'm so curious to see this movie. Is because like what is this gonna be? Like
I'm curious to see numbers wise. I don't know if I'm necessarily interested in seeing the movie, or if I'm more so interested in just seeing what it will do.
Yeah. No, I mean I get it. I can't figure. I don't know. I just need. That's what I'm saying is like I need more information on it because like we're getting all of the budget stuff and that's insane, and then we've gotten a couple little like teasers or whatever, but they don't. They're trying to hype this up, and I don't think it's there.
Well, we're what 8 months out. They typically won't.
It's December, because Dune. It's that and Dune, right? It's coming around at the same time. December's going to be busy. It's going to be a busy month. It's like those two.
So
and
the
Godzilla.
break even would be probably around $1.4 million.
It's crazy.
1.5 for break even. That because they don't billion. Yeah, 1.4 to 1.5 billion. This is according to ChatGPT because Grok wasn't working, so I had to go to the U.S. government for help.
Okay, so yeah, I don't under. It doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah, well, it's because you have to take a production budget of 4 to 5. Marketing is going to be roughly double that.
I don't know.
And then the theaters take a big cut, typically about 40 to 50%. And then international splits are less favorable. So the common rule is 2 times, maybe 2.5 times its total production and marketing budget. So if you did, 800 million times, let's just say 2.5. We'll do it like that. I'm getting 2 billion. So let's just say on the low end 1.5 to the high end 2.5 billion to break even.
Yeah, it's crazy.
That is wild.
It's a lot of money.
Hey, David, why can't they make money in Hollywood anymore?
I mean,
Disney's doing so good. They just did massive layoffs.
Yeah. I don't know where they're getting this money from, man. It's like they're printing it out of thin air. There's got to be like, remember how, I'm trying to remember what it was, but like there was all this stuff, and some of it was in Hollywood, where it was like, where are these people just getting all this money from? And it turned out a lot of it was coming from the government. And it was like, oh, okay, that checks out. Because it's like, it doesn't seem like a lot of projects are making money and then they somehow keep having the money to keep making more projects. Like, it's crazy to me that Disney, or like however that's split up for them, like where they're getting this from. Like, are they pulling revenue from like other like more successful places?
Well, they have like $46 billion. They're $46 billion in debt. Disney is.
Sheesh.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't understand it. It doesn't make any sense to me. All right. Well, we'll talk about it more when more of this stuff starts coming out.
Can I talk about something funny that I thought of?
Sure.
So I saw on old Twitter that Anne Hathaway for the Devil Wears Prada 2 promotional going on, that she was pushing that, saying like there should have been more diverse body types among the models in the show. I thought that was a clever way to say that because she probably views herself as an attractive woman, that she should have women who
don't look as good around her.
Yeah, yes. You know what I mean? Like, almost. I was trying to figure out a way to say that, but yeah, I could be entirely wrong. But I think that's a very sneaky way to say that, like a PR push. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh man, you never know with like actors, and she probably has quite a bit of pull these days when it comes to the, I could see that though, that it's like, oh,
and then I thought it was so funny she was saying that, and then she said inshallah in one of her interviews as well, which is Arabic language typically associated with, it's a phrase used by Muslims generally speaking that means if God wills or God willing. And so I thought it was very ironic that she was saying that in one breath, and then in another interview saying that. I'm like, you do realize one's opposed to the other.
Nah, she don't know that.
Vehemently.
It's like a fashion thing for them. Like it's like religion, children, all that sort of, like pretty much anything. It's like an accessory for them, something that they can wear for a while. Like that's the way they view that stuff. It's always been that way. I mean, Madonna was that way, in the 90s, and like it was like fashionable to like all these. They would try to spin it as like, oh, look at the good that these celebrities are doing, but it was like fashionable for them to adopt kids from overseas.
Yep.
And at the time, especially as a kid, like more naive about that kind of stuff, where it was like, oh, well, good for them. And then like as you get older and like you hear the stories about the way that a lot of, not all of them, I guess, but like a lot of them treated their kids, or a lot of people who even outside of like the celebrity world, like do stuff like that. And you start to realize that most of the things that you're seeing, whether it's like celebrity news or anything like that, it's all just like fake. It's this fashion show. It's this way for them to like signal to their friends about whatever the current trends are. And then sometimes they're just like told what to say. And the first time I realized that is I always thought it was weird growing up how often celebrities like get together and break up and then get together, get married, get divorced, like that whole deal. And that's that first time where you go, oh, it's because it's all manufactured. Their relationships are manufactured a lot of the time. It says, y'all are going to pretend to date in the public for a certain amount of time or get into like some sort of big argument or whatever before the release of your new movie, because no press is bad press. And so if your name is in the press, people are going to associate it with whatever like your next big project coming out is.
Exactly.
Just crazy stuff, man. So,
agreed.
It goes back to like, it's not surprising that a lot of these places like hide the actual numbers or how they're actually doing. It's just like on a massive, massive scale. All righty, Mr. Joseph. So, what do you want to talk about? We did get news. Okay, so I don't know if you found the actual source because you were the one that wanted to talk about this.
Okay.
Because I didn't realize that I was still expecting Rings of Power to come out next year. Allegedly, I've seen the sources all cite it kind of differently.
Hollywood Reporter.
Is that's the one you got it from, right?
Yep, it is.
So the way that they sort it or announce this and the way it's worded is the Rings of Power will make its debut on Prime Video later this year. So I'm wondering if maybe it's going to be like December, January situation.
Oh, yeah. They're trying to release it in the dead of night where no one would know.
Well,
the bad news
I wouldn't
is,
be surprised.
everybody, that Amazon has announced through the Hollywood Reporter that they plan on releasing the Rings of Power later this year.
Yeah.
That's the bad news. The good news is that after the season is probably going to get canceled. It has to, right? Surely they think they'll paying $40 million to the Tolkien estate
is better than,
because it's $20 million every season that's canceled, which will be 2 more seasons, would be more cost effective for them.
It's either that or, what I told you last time is that they're just going to bare bones the last 2 seasons. You'll get, everything will get way, 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 way scaled back. Less CG, less actors. They'll keep like Galadriel, probably like Arondir, and then they'll do little
They got to keep
mini
the
stories
orc that's going on their journey. With
no, he's no. He'll die by the end of season 3.
They got to keep him.
Nah,
David.
it's a
He
one
needs that
season.
redemption arc.
Nah.
Come
It's a
on.
one season thing. Yeah, I guarantee you, it's a one season thing.
That orc needs to become like Aragorn's father that was transformed. Or
They need
it's Galadriel's brother.
my
That's Sauron transformed.
my thinking behind it is that they need a character that can have like an emotional journey through the season, but they only need it for the season because it's only like a useful thing and a useful gimmick for one season. So he has his setup and payoff within the course of like 8 episodes or whatever it's going to be. And I still think he's going to die and turn into an angel and return to Valinor. I think that's what they're going to do.
Yeah, probably.
Because they have to like mess with it. You know what I mean? They have to actually show you the return because it's like, it's something for people to talk about. I always thought that was really funny about like this show or whatever. It's like this trend. I feel like Rings of Power was one of the first times that we started to see this, at least on like bigger projects. Is the like weird Instagram and like social media things that it's like little check boxes that they have to like this. It's like the trending thing for the time, and so that like they're like, look at what the way that they like market the shows and stuff is like through that, and then it turns out to be terrible. And then that's like all that sort of remains because you don't really have like a real fan base. I still don't, dude. I saw something on X where it's like there are these accounts on there that are still excited about Lord of the Rings, like new Lord of the Rings stuff, and I'm just like, I mean, that's how you know the whole thing's bots and that like most of what you're seeing is not real,
right?
Because it's just like, how are there so many of you in one place? You know, like I don't know anybody that talks about that show, and then somehow there's still this large group of people that are into it. It's very weird,
isn't it? Though?
Yeah. So yeah, I guess
no way. It's like I don't understand why. If there are people who like Rings of Power, more power to them. I don't understand, but
no power to them.
Hey, listen, it's totally fine if you find enjoyment in something that's bad. There's plenty of people who find joy in bad movies.
Yeah, but they also will admit to you that it's not good.
That's the only thing is that you just got to admit, yeah, no, that's horrible, but
it's because it's not true.
I find joy in it.
Yeah, no joy in that. There's so much like I think I had mentioned to you. I'm just like fascinated by this thing that Amazon's doing now, where they put out like a 4 out of 10 movie like once a month, and it's like sometimes around that range. And one of the only ones I hadn't seen was the Priyanka Chopra pirate movie. It's called Bloody Mary. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah,
dude, I couldn't finish it.
You couldn't?
I could not. It's a absolute like 1 out of 10, and it's like. It's crazy to me because I like Carl Urban a lot, and I guess he's like chewing the scenery and like doing what he can with the role. I feel like that's the nice thing that we're supposed to say when an actor we like is in a terrible movie, you know. And it's there's not even anything like stupid fun about it. It's just miserable to watch. It's the same old like overpowered woman who shouldn't be able to take on guys. Like they don't. It's just that complaint that we always have. But like they don't even try to make it so that it's like, oh yeah, I believe that she could have taken those guys out that way. There's just not a lot of that. And there's like it's just the crazy like plot armor stuff too. I'm bored just explaining it to you, dude.
It seems that way in a lot of her movies, like in Citadel as well.
Oh yeah. Yep.
You know, a lot of plot armor, and not that it's her, obviously, but just like, what is going on here, people?
So, just one of the other things I thought was interesting, the Dawnwalker. It's this game that's coming out later this year from some of the Witcher 3 devs.
Yeah.
They're going to have like a big 45-minute thing.
The Blood of the Dawn Walker.
Blood of the Dawn Walker. Yeah, I just call it Dawn Walker.
Yeah, it's easier. That's what it should have just been called.
It should have just been called Dawn Walker. Yeah, it's fine.
Titles.
But yeah, they're gonna do like a 45-minute stream, talking about the game. So I'm looking. I feel like that's something that you and I are like can both kind of talk about. And it looks. I thought the original trailer looked good. It seems like it's an interesting system because like it's you're sort of on a timer, but like every mission and everything that you complete like pushes you closer to the end of the game. So you're kind of like, at least from the way that they've explained it. So it'll be interesting to see if they kind of show a little bit more than that. But it's got like pretty good Witcher vibes. Got that fantasy-esque thing going on. So I'm curious to see how that ends up turning out. So probably have more to talk about with that next week. All right, let's get into one of the bigger things that we're talking about.
Well, let me ask you this real fast.
Yeah.
Did you see the Clayface trailer yet?
Oh, I did.
What do you think about the DC heading in the horror direction with that film?
It looked yeah, I mean, it was I think like some of the visuals are cool, but it was a teaser, right? Like I don't.
Yeah.
There wasn't enough
for direction for them to head in based off the trailer.
Man, they're
cheap. They should have gone horror.
So this is the thing. Now this is DC, obviously, but like this thing about a lot of horror movies is that usually your budget is significantly smaller. So the potential, and this is something that a lot of people have argued across the board with superhero stuff, is that there's probably still a market for it, but they have to figure out how to reduce their budgets pretty hard, like go smaller scale. Like if you look at a lot of the superhero movies and you go back to even like the first Iron Man, like it's pretty small scale and low stakes compared to what came after. And it's still one of the best ones, you know? So it's got potential to work. The problem is the rest of the DCU or whatever they're calling it now. That's where they're going to run into potential issues with that kind of stuff. Because if they're associating like Clayface, say like so like Superman, we'll just say middling. You know, a lot of people I think have worse opinions of it now than they did when it first came out. Right. A lot of people don't think that Supergirl looks very good, so it will probably underperform. I could be wrong about that, but it's possible. More than likely, it seems like it's kind of heading in the direction of underperforming. So the question is, if Clayface is the third movie that's coming out from them, it's associated with that brand. Is that going to affect that? What's up, Jenna? Good to see you.
What's up, Jenna?
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with the whole thing. I mean, it could be all right. It looked like visually it was cool, but like there wasn't anything in that made me was like, oh shoot, I have to see this. You know what I mean? Need to see more. It's fine for a teaser. Okay, let's talk about Minus Zero.
Yeah, let's talk about it.
I should hang on. I gotta put up my my little copyright protector thing. Okay. So I had gotten word last week or whatever, because I text you, because this is one of the sequels that you and I are actually looking forward to this year.
Correctamundo.
Mm-hmm. And I mean, it's just a teaser. And so I don't know. I'm kind of like watching it again as we're like talking about it or whatever. Visually, looks great. Curious to see what the budget's going to be for this one. And it looks
Did
like
I hear 50 million? I want to say
50 million. I mean, that's still.
I think I heard 50 million. Oh well, never mind. Maybe
No,
it should a budget over 15 million.
over 15, because that's
Yeah.
yeah. And then like allegedly, the director said we wished we had 15 million to make the movie. So we'll see how
Well, I
like
guess
how
I don't
that
really know.
breaks
So
down.
this says Godzilla Minus Zero has a reported budget over 15 million dollars, which is higher than
Well,
the 10 to 15 million budget of its predecessor Minus One.
yeah.
And then the director confirmed in February 25 that the sequel would operate with a larger financial scope. So I don't really know the exact budget, but
Yeah, because they said it about the first one, minus one, that it was like they wish they
yeah,
had 15 million, or at least that was what was
yeah,
reported. Um, so yeah, it's not. It looks like um, there's a couple like shots of the city that got destroyed in the first one.
yep,
Um, and then we don't get a lot. It's just some of the same kind of like war footage that they used in the first one to kind of talk about things that were going on outside of Japan. And
yeah.
then
I like that with the trailer as a whole, if you don't mind me
no,
saying
you're
that,
good.
the tone consistency between the first one and the second one. Like it seems like they're keeping the same seriousness and grounded tone instead of shifting into that typical Hollywood blockbuster style where, you got Godzilla chasing after King Kong or whatever, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, I
Like
like.
he's
Yeah, I mean,
it seems more restrained, character focused.
I thought the actors did good last time, and that I think you and I were both surprised that the human stuff was as interesting as it was.
Yep. Go ahead though.
I've actually been meaning to go back and watch Minus One again recently. I let a friend. I've got the like 4K physical, because like it's rare, but when movies come out that I really really like, or even older stuff, I try to get hard copies now as like whenever I can kind of like spare the money, um, just because like I like the physical media, and then like the 4Ks look better than it does on streaming. So you just get like a cleaner picture. I watched both of the Raid movies last
Oh
week,
yeah.
just back to back. We had been talking about like the Brave browser, and I had found them on one of those like free TV sites or whatever, one of the quote unquote legal ones that like plays ads. And I was curious if Brave would block the ads on it, so you could just like watch them without the ads popping up, and it works.
Oh, nice.
So it's weird. At first, I thought the editing. I was like, man, because it did this with the Raid too. At least I don't remember it. It wasn't really the way that they did it with the first one, but like the movie would like fade in and fade out, almost like it was going to commercial break and then coming back from commercial break, like you were watching like an old TV show.
Yep.
And it would like cut right before the end of a specific scene, fade in, fade out, finish the scene, and move on to the next one. And I was like, I don't remember the movie doing that the first time I saw this. Then I realized what it was. But yeah, I went back and watched those, and the quality was like terrible. So I like to get the physical when I have an
Right.
opportunity. And this is one of the ones that I have, and I'm really looking forward to this sequel. And yeah, I agree that the tone and everything about it, it's like it seems like at least trying to stay true to like what happened in the first one, which
Yep. Well,
makes
there's a
sense.
strong sense of escalation, like things are getting bigger without losing the weight of the previous movie.
Yeah.
Like, so they're going beyond Japan with, as we see at the end of the teaser trailer, the Statue of Liberty. So there's going to be a larger scale of destruction. Kind of the stakes are going to be higher, but they're still keeping it serious. Godzilla is feeling more threatening. Um, you know, very menacing. Um, I like that it. Yeah, obviously we knew he didn't get killed, but they were thinking he got killed, and now he's coming back as bigger in this like excellent, excellent shot. This scene
Yeah.
where you think it's like you have Godzilla behind the Statue of Liberty and how it's shot and framed, he looks smaller until he takes a step.
Yeah. And it's a really good use of perspective.
Yes, to emphasize the danger rather than just the action spectacle.
Yeah.
Like this teaser did a great job of making you excited for what's to come, and I'm so glad they didn't Marvelize it.
Oh yeah, it doesn't look like they're
That they didn't Disneyfy it.
yeah, I don't think they're gonna do that. I did hear, maybe it's just a rumor right now, that they want to do like their own MonsterVerse or whatever. So I'm curious, like Japan, like Toho Studio does. So they'll have like the minus zero type stuff, and then they might switch it up a little bit, try some other things tonally, which I think is fine too. It'd be cool to see. It'd be really cool to see them just on smaller budgets do way better than anything that's come out over here. From like a quality perspective, because I remember when the Godzilla, the American Godzilla stuff was getting rebooted, and it seemed kind of like a good idea at first, but those definitely degraded into kind of wacky slop after a while, didn't they? Like it just got, the budgets got like way imploded, and bringing in I almost called him Donkey Kong, bringing in King Kong with like Godzilla to do all that. I I get it. It just, I think as those movies went on, they weren't all that good to begin with. Though I kind of like Skull Island, Kong Skull Island.
Yep. There's things that are enjoyable about it.
Yeah, it's fun, and it worked kind of as a one-off. And then like they took that and the vibe of that, and then just made everything silly. Those, especially the Kong focused movies, they get really weird and goofy after a while, and it's just like a big CG fest, and it's just not my thing. So I'm curious to see what they can do with this. And where like Toho might go with doing some of their other monsters and other characters that like show up in Godzilla. It could be really interesting, and I can't wait for this. It's coming out in December, and it's something that we will definitely be talking about.
I'm excited, man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like I said, December's going to be interesting because you got this, you got Dune, and then you've got Doomsday, which it is Doomsday, right? That's the first one.
Yep. Correct.
Yeah, I can't imagine that'll be very good. But the other stuff that's coming out, I think it looks cool, and it's definitely something to keep on our radar this year. Have you watched much of anything since the last time we were on?
Negative. Only The Departed.
Oh yeah, you didn't really care for it, right?
Yeah, it was all right. Mm-hmm. Like too long, and I'm not really the biggest. Yeah, overhyped. I'm not the biggest fan of the ending. Not the biggest fan of some of the dialogue in the film.
Oh, it's excessive.
Yes,
that's the first movie. That's one of the first movies that I can remember the cursing being just. It's like, guys, like dialogue exists, You can have conversations. Like I've seen Scorsese movies where you actually do stuff like that.
Yeah,
I'm not in a.
It's very obsessive.
Yeah, I'm not in a place.
I'm sorry.
I'm not in a place yet to say that like Scorsese's kind of overrated. I think maybe script, like dialogue wise in his movies, I don't think that's where his strengths necessarily are. And I think he did like he was like the gangster guy, like those are the kind of movies that he made. And so I just wonder over time if like looking at a lot of his stuff, it's like, well, I don't know. Like I personally like prefer someone like Tarantino because he likes variety, like he's like got a similar tone with a lot of his stuff. But his, you're not seeing like all of his movies looking like Pulp Fiction or all of his movies looking like Kill Bill. Like there's
Right.
there's different genres and time periods, and he just likes to cover a lot of different stuff. But there's little things about all of his movies that are like similar. Like like a Quentin Tarantino movie is very distinct, and a Scorsese movie is too, but it's a little more samey to me.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't
I don't know, man. I'm just kind of over the excessive cursing, and I didn't know anything about the movie outside of the hype
Really?
that it got.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
outside of
crazy,
the
dude.
hype
Well,
and the general like,
and it's
I had a general idea, I should say. That's not true. I did know some things about the movie,
yeah.
but I watched it. I'm like, this is really just. It's not that great.
I
It's all right,
yeah.
but it's not anything I'd recommend to anyone to watch. The cursing is just too excessive.
It's excessive for sure.
And the ending, just like,
I get what they were going for at the time, and it was like pretty shocking, but it feels more of a movie where it's a huge slow burn, and then they do that, and then that's what everybody's talking about.
yep,
Like
a shock jock.
A little bit. I don't typically like that with there's a way that I like character deaths to be. I don't think that there's a problem with doing them abruptly, but considering that I guess this is spoilers for like almost a 20-year-old movie, but
Spoilers.
when Leonardo DiCaprio just kind of gets like killed off that quickly, I didn't think it worked very well.
I didn't either.
In contrast, have you ever seen Burn After Reading?
No.
It's a Coen Brothers movie. I haven't seen it in a while, but it came out. It was in that same range. Like there's a little bit of a range with that, but those movies weren't too far apart.
Okay,
I'm pretty sure.
I haven't seen this.
So I should watch it again because I don't remember much. But one of the things that's always stuck with me, I remember liking it when I saw it like years ago. But one of the things that always stuck with me, and I'm just going to spoil this for you, is that Brad Pitt is like one of the main characters in the movie. Like he's not the main character. Like he's not the focus like DiCaprio is in The Departed. And about halfway through the movie, he's like doing something in someone's house and he's like hiding. And he like walks out of the closet to be like, "Hey, I'm sorry, I'm here." And the guy shoots him in the head and kills him. And it's like a similar thing, but it works better because of the way that like it works on kind of a meta level because you're kind of expecting Brad Pitt to be in the entire movie. The way that the trailers were like set up around him, he's one of the main. They're acting like he's one of the main characters. He's sort of the comic relief in the movie. And then they abruptly kill him, but because he's not like the central focus, and there's a lot of other stuff that's going on, and they just sort of abruptly end his story, and it just works.
Right.
Whereas with this, it's like there's not, he's your hero character, one of them at least, but he's your protagonist, and to just kind of abruptly take him out, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh, like there's still 15, 20 minutes left in this movie, and they're kind of like wrapping stuff up. It just, I don't know.
How they wrapped up Matt Damon's character, I don't know. It was just
yeah,
that as well. It's like, okay, so Mark Wahlberg's character gets him, and it's
similar. Don't you see? It's similar to the other one, but Mark Wahlberg is like more careful because he's, he has to be like above the law or whatever, unlike the gangsters. And I like Jack Nicholson in pretty much everything he's in, and there are far worse movies out there than that. But yeah, it's pretty middle of the road to me. And I just think it's funny because I don't think you and I have ever talked about that movie before today. Like I don't even think, as long as I've known you, we've ever talked about The Departed. Like maybe it's come up before, but for me it's not something that stands out in my mind.
Nope.
You know what I mean? Like
I'm not crazy about it.
It wouldn't make my top 100 list.
I wonder if the reason why I haven't watched it is that I watched the trailer probably for it in the past and was like, I don't want to watch this. It doesn't look.
Yeah, and it's long. It's long.
Way too long.
Yeah. All right. So, have you seen the Street Fighter trailer?
Yes, I watched it before the podcast tonight.
Oh, very nice, very nice. Well, we're probably going to be on the same page with this one. I think the only difference is that you don't really have like a connection to Street Fighter, correct? Like, is
Correct.
there? Okay. Um.
I mean, I played it some growing up.
So.
You know, I know what.
Oh
I know
yeah,
what it
yeah,
is.
yeah, yeah, for sure.
You know,
It's
I
a
placed. I placed like in the top 3 in tournaments and stuff, but you know, only went to like
that
40 tournaments.
that
That's it.
that would be crazy if this all this time I have known you. I didn't realize that at one point you were a Street Fighter like champion.
Yeah. Like I won the Street Fighter Blockbuster tournament or
Yeah,
something.
yeah, yeah. When or like what? So as someone who's coming in this with very little like connection or context for it, other than kind of knowing what the games are, what did you think of the trailer? Kind of overall, like how are you feeling?
It looked fun, which is
Yeah.
very subjective.
Sure.
Uh, Seemed a bit all over the place. Like it seems like it may be now it will have a storyline, obviously, but a lot of cameos.
Yeah, it's gonna have a lot of like. It's giving me the vibe that there's gonna be a lot of these like member berries for like fans or like
Yes.
meme type stuff in it.
Yeah, nostalgia bait for sure. It seemed very goofy,
yeah, and I don't know how.
unserious,
So
kind of marvelly.
yeah, and what's so funny, and I don't know, maybe it's just the trend, the way the trends have been going lately. I wish that movies like this would just take themselves seriously.
Yes, that's what I was gonna say.
Like,
They're not taking themselves serious, and if you're not gonna take yourself serious,
because
why should I take you serious?
I feel like. So, have you ever seen the Jean-Claude Van Damme Street Fighter movie?
Ooh, maybe.
It's like
I'd have to look it up.
old school camp. In a traditional sense, it's not very good. It used to just like come on TV at night, and I always really like enjoyed it. But the movie is like it's not serious, but the reason that it
I
is
think
the way that it
have
is
seen this, but
yeah,
I don't remember anything.
everyone's kind of like treating the material seriously, and in the right hands and with like what they're kind of doing with this, they could make it work. And then again, maybe it's the trailer tone. Trailers have a tendency to be misleading.
Yep.
But what I'm hoping is that or what I'm getting from it is that you're right. It's like goofy, silly. Look at all these characters that you know, like, aren't you
I
looking
wonder if
forward
it's
to
just
it?
going to be a movie that's insulting the fans,
I
or if
don't
they're
know.
going to try and pay a homage to the fans. And I don't mind if it's goofy and they're just trying to like have a movie for the dedicated hardcore fans. Fine, I'm fine with that. But to your point, I think it's part of everything with Marvel. A lot of just movies not taking themselves serious and just Marvifying things, Disneyfying their, you know, storylines, their characters,
Yeah.
the CGI, the cinematography, everything. And maybe it's just the fact that we're over that. Maybe it has to do with our age.
It's
And
partially that. I heard, I was watching something today and someone was talking about how like, well, it's campy, and there's this weird thing that I think's happened where people have started using the word camp to justify something that's like stupid, but like
Yes.
camp is a little bit more than that, and it's also it's not just that it's like stupid. Like there's something to it that's like endearing. And so there,
Right.
you know what I mean? Like that, like a lot of you probably wouldn't call phase 4 or 5 of Marvel like campy. Like I don't think that's going to be looked at the same way. There was something endearing about old movie making that even though people were making stuff that wasn't very good, there seemed to be some sort of passion in it, even if they were totally misguided. Like there's a reason that people
Right.
love something like The Room, where with a lot of the stuff that we're getting now, like Street Fighter, I don't think that's going to ever be looked at quite the same way. I don't know if it's going to have even the same meme value as some of the other terrible like Street Fighter projects that have come out. I
Would
kind of
Mortal Kombat be a good example of being campy, like the old ones?
Mortal Kombat. Oh, like the old ones. Yeah, uh-huh. Yeah, maybe people just kind of generally despise Annihilation. I don't think people look at it that way, but yeah, like the first one, like it's Paul W.S. Anderson, the guy that did like the Resident Evil movies. I think people have always kind of looked at his stuff, even though it's not good, as somewhat endearing. Like, and some of it's nostalgia for me. Like, I have some nostalgia for some of those Resident Evil movies. Like, they're awful. But there's something interesting about that, and like this director. Like, I don't think people were. It was always still annoying, but I don't think Paul W.S. Anderson was out to specifically, target and demean like fans of Resident Evil. I think he just got a hold of the project, and he does what a lot of Hollywood directors do, and they're just like, I want to make this my own thing, and the Resident Evil title is simply there to try to draw in fans. And then over time he sprinkled in and went pretty hard on like the references and stuff, even though the movies got more and more like, not unwatchable is the term, but just like weird, and but it doesn't have the same malice as I think you see with a lot of stuff like that now, where people are going after fans. I think the old stuff, they were trying to do something, but it was like old school Hollywood, where it's like nobody cares about video games, but for some reason it's like that weird thing, right, where they're like, we need to take the title because it's recognizable, we might be able to draw in a specific crowd, but we still have to make this for more of what we believe the general public wants. So you get a lot of more grounded, quote unquote, stuff, or it messes with the vibe of the movie. And
right.
Yeah, I don't know. It's some of that stuff I think just looked more favorably upon. Yes, I think partially because of nostalgia, but also I think that there was more like passion and stuff even put into like bad projects back then, where what you and I have seen a lot over the last like 10 years is people that there's no passion. There's no passion for filmmaking, and there's also no passion for the subject material. And if you have one, you might put something out that's at least decently watchable, but if you have neither, then you get a lot of this like slop that we've been getting lately, like Bloody Mary and Glass Onion. Yeah, man. So, and then like a lot of the Marvel stuff too. Like nobody had, like Chloe Zhao, none of them had passion for that Eternals project. It's why the whole thing.
I don't know, man. Like, I think they had passion for it because they were interested in saving lives, dude.
Oh,
and
you're right.
How do you quantify that?
How could I forgot how many lives that saved? How many lives?
Just one life, and it was worth it, Dave.
Yeah. Wasted about 2% of my life.
Yeah. Not Dave's off my life.
Yeah, and, for real.
On the back end.
I mean, when it's supposed to, okay, it's coming out this summer, right?
Yes.
I feel like I might drag Justin to see that, just to see what it is. I don't know if I'm gonna like require you to.
Oh, October 16th, actually.
Wait, really? It comes out in October?
Yeah.
That's weird.
What were we just talking about? Godzilla doesn't come out in October. It was something.
December.
Yeah.
What was coming out in October?
I feel like we were just talking about something that's coming out.
Oh, they're actually setting this in 1993, allegedly.
Oh, wow. November 6th for Godzilla.
November 6th. Okay, well, I don't know why I thought it was December.
It's okay. I consulted the Book of Knowledge and Truth.
There you go.
Oh, one. I gotta look at the release calendar now, because now it's gonna bother me. Let me go down to October. All right, I'm in October. October 16th. No, maybe it was just that. Clayface comes out in October.
Oh, right. Yeah. Which I didn't mention this before, but that is one thing that they're doing correctly is they're putting a movie that is everyone is labeling a horror movie in October, which is what you do.
Yeah.
People want to go see spooky movies in the theater during October. It's just the way that it always is. So the movie could do all right. If they get their budget right, it could do all right.
I still gotta see
I guess we'll close out
Project Hail Mary.
You haven't seen it? Yeah.
I haven't seen it yet, man.
Well, yeah.
I haven't had time to. Haven't had the ability to.
Fair enough. Well, we can talk about it again when you finally do. I think it's worth it. I think it did pretty well. People really like it.
Wonder
So
if
I
it's
don't
playing
know.
at my movie theater.
I feel like it
Let me
should
see.
have been. Like it was a pretty.
Oh.
It might be gone by
Probably
now.
was. It's
yeah.
not now. What's playing at my movie theater now is still the Super Mario Galaxy movie.
Oh.
And then
You haven't watched that yet
Ready
either,
or
right?
Not to. I haven't. Have you?
No. I want to actually do want to see Ready or Not 2, and I want to see it just to have, we can talk about it then. But it wasn't something I thought or I would want to rush out to the theater to do because it's not like we did that with the first one.
Right.
I think we just reviewed it once it was finally streaming, which is fine. We can do that again, I'm sure. We are in there's a lot of news coming out, but we are in kind of a lull right now for movies. They are re-releasing Godzilla Minus One in theaters, so I'm probably
Yes, they are.
Probably gonna go see that.
And
again.
then we got Mortal Kombat 2 coming out in a couple weeks.
Oh, sweet.
May
Well,
8th.
we'll do that for sure. I can
And
just
the Sheep Detectives for you. I mean,
what?
I know you're real.
The Sheep
The
Detective?
Sheep Detectives.
Oh, that's the one. Yeah. I know. It's funny that I know what you're talking about. No one else listening to this may know. But yes, the
No
Sheep
one else would.
Detectives. I saw the
We got-
trailer. I saw the trailer for that in whatever the last movie I saw was.
What'd you think about it?
I mean it's a movie about sheep trying to solve a murder. It might be better than some stuff that we've seen. Dude, I'm telling you, this year's been so weird for that stuff. I was gonna I haven't put everything in here that I've seen this year in my little like letterbox thing where I keep up with the movies that I watch for the year. Let me look at my list.
It's good that we watch
whoops.
similar movies because I can piggyback off you.
Oh,
I try and keep up with it myself.
No, that's not it. Dang it. Lists. That's what I want. So 2026 movies. Dude, I gotta update this. Send Help was the last thing that I put on here. That movie sucked. Wow. Okay, never mind. I won't talk about it yet. I gotta go back and figure out what else I've seen this year.
Are we
What was
gonna
the last time I
watch
saw in theaters?
Let me ask this. So we got In the Gray
never
coming
mind.
out May
Project
15th.
Hail
So we'll watch that. I have no desire.
Wait, what was
unless
that?
You make me. In the Gray with Henry Cavill and Jake Gyllenhaal.
Oh, I mean, if you don't,
Isaac.
that's fine.
Yeah.
We don't-
Depends on what we have going on. Because
Yeah.
also,
If it turns out to be good,
in June, we should have House of the Dragon.
yeah.
But at the end of May, we got Star Wars, the freaking terrible movie. Have no interest in even just talking about it. You know what I'm talking about? The
Grogu?
Mandalorian and Grogu. Yeah. That's all you, unless you make me.
Brother, I don't want to go. I don't want to go see it. Like I don't know if it's really. Maybe we can bring technically Mexican in and
Oh yeah, he'll probably like it.
poke his brain about. He might like it.
By the time we have him on here, he probably would have seen
I
it.
feel
5
like
times.
because the last thing that we really talked about was Ahsoka. Like that was one we kept up with,
Yeah.
or at
and
least
then
a
after
little
that,
bit.
It was
Acolyte,
like
but
we're done with this.
yeah, I think we might have talked about Acolyte for like 2 weeks, barely, and it was like, dude, I can't even. Yeah, I want to say you watched more of Acolyte than I did.
I think it was the other way around, dude. Was it me?
I think you might have gotten further than me. I think you got like
yeah,
one.
Maybe you're right.
I think you got one episode further than me. But either way, it's like we didn't finish it. The only reason I know anything that happens in that is because I watched other people who were brave souls and did that. Project Hail Mary was the last movie I saw in theaters.
Okay. Then we got Masters of the Universe in June.
I kind of want to cover that.
Watch it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm kind of interested to see how it's going to
I'm
be.
like, He-Man wasn't huge for me growing up. I think I went through a phase one summer because like my aunt and uncle had all of the episodes taped on like VHS, and I remember being like kind of into it for a summer, and it was like cool because he had this big green tiger that he rode around on. But after that, didn't really care anymore.
Yeah.
And it was always kind of like, oh yeah, I remember He-Man. Yeah, I was like into that a million years ago.
Right.
Wasn't my like thing, you know. I was a little more into like Dragon Ball Z and stuff like that.
Yeah,
Okay. Well, we did get one more announcement recently that Lee Pace will reprise his role as Thranduil in The Lord of the Rings: The Hunt for Gollum. Joseph, please be excited.
I am glad that he's back. I think he does a great job with the character. Like, I'm always good with, if there's going to be a movie, at least have great casting, right? Sometimes you can have a poor script, but actors can carry a movie. By that, I don't mean necessarily that it will make the movie good, but it will help you to be able to get through the movie if it's not good. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think great acting, in my opinion, will ever level up a movie to where it will take it from bad to good. Like, it may take it from, instead of being bad to being a little bit better than that, like, all right. Or at least elevating it in a sense to where you can find enjoyment out of it. But so I think that's good. But I mean, at the same time, man, it's like, why are we doing the Hunt for Gollum? Why are we doing it's like it's a interjection into Peter Jackson's films, and it's like, okay, where's going to be the timestamp that you're going to put to where, hey, make sure you watch this before you proceed forward with the Fellowship of the Ring, or before you proceed forward with the Fellowship. I don't know, especially that one with Stephen Colbert as well and his son. It's like, why are these the movies we're announcing? And it also, David, allegedly there could be a trilogy of movies coming from this, and it's like, guys, like, have you not learned anything from The Hobbit?
They'll cancel that if the Hunt for Gollum is even remotely not going to do well.
Man. Like, who's interested in watching this? Like, who?
Good point. Somebody is. There's some of those Stan accounts. Those Lord of the Rings.
It's starting to get cringy to me with all this hype around the old cast. I don't mean that in a negative way.
I get what you mean, though.
But it's starting to get to the point. It's like, okay, guys, like, I get it. Great characters, like, absolutely, like, it's awesome from our childhood. I think it just goes back to there comes a time and place where you got to move forward.
Mm-hmm.
And with films, with stories, and they have a definitive end for a reason. Let them stay that way. Now, obviously, there's ways in which you can bring back nostalgia into a movie to where it serves the movie and helps it. I don't have a problem with bringing nostalgia back and capturing, great memories from the past. But maybe, David, our generation is to blame for the state of Hollywood as it is, because they're so focused on nostalgia and the past, constantly living in the past. We can't move forward to anything new and beyond.
That's
even utilizing the past to do that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's what.
The Hobbit's actually a great example of utilizing the past and, putting it into a movie to where it serves it. If they had done it right, you know what I mean, and not if they didn't bloat it to 3 movies.
Exactly. If that had been a tighter movie all around, and they had really worked harder to stay focused on Tolkien's original work, and you wanted to add some little things in there to find ways that make sense to bring in the characters, 100%. But it's obvious how much like studio interference and just like with like how much Legolas is in those movies, and like the forced love triangles and just like all the stuff that had nothing to do with that to begin with. I think you would have gotten like a pretty cool little like prequel, and maybe they could have done 2 movies from the different perspectives, and that would have been that would have been cool. But there's like also you're looking for like epic battles and ways to move forward. Like you're saying, there's plenty of stories that you could work with. I think the problem is, and this is probably one of the reasons Rings of Power did things the way that they did, is that they want that like. It's like I was talking about earlier with like celebrities, but it's like they want that thing that's like, oh, we're the title Lord of the Rings. Like I'm working on a Lord of the Rings project. But it's a lot harder with Tolkien's unfinished work to be able to write proper scripts. Like you can even see that with everybody who like worked on everything after Lord of the Rings, even with The Hobbit.
Yep.
They struggled to make The Hobbit good because there's just less material. Now the stuff that works in The Hobbit is definitely the stuff that stays closer to the original writing, script-wise, like dialogue-wise. The closer they stayed to that stuff, the better it was, and it's why Lord of the Rings worked out as well as it did. But when you have to start making things up, that sounds worse than I mean it, but when you have to start trying to figure things out for yourself, you like fail at it a lot of the time.
I think the problem is the current state of Hollywood. Do you trust people who seemingly more than likely are very left leaning, which we've seen with the Rings of Power promo when Elijah the guy that plays Sam, I don't know why I'm forgetting his name right now. And Merry and Pippin.
Sean Astin. Sean Astin.
Yeah. And etc. How they went on that, what a tour promoting like leftist ideological stuff.
Yeah,
and so it's like, think about that and you bring it to today. Do you really trust the people from 20 years ago to create a story now when they've been seemingly constantly in the bubble? I'm not there every day of their lives, every week, every year. I'm not there, but seemingly based off of things that have followed, they've maintained that bubble, right? Yeah. Which has only grown. And do you think they're going to make something that's faithful to Tolkien when he represents everything they dislike?
No, but like the thing is it wasn't. Like all of those people have always been liberal. I mean, like the problem now, and like I think what you're getting
but it's the growth of it.
But it's turning it into something that they feel the need to talk about. Like it's become like religious. This has a tendency to happen, and it's much more prominent with a lot of the stuff that we talk about in like that industry, because that industry has always been like pretty liberal, like at least outwardly. And it used to not really matter because like there was a certain level of like quote unquote decorum, for a lack of a better word, where you knew that, but like Michael Jordan said, it's like conservatives buy sneakers too. I think that's it's at least that's what's attributed to him. It might not be exact, but that's the idea. Is it's like when you're trying to sell something, like everybody does that, and so they used to not think about that, but they actively, like some of these people actively do not want certain people like in the theater or watching their thing, which is totally fine. And some of them have gotten a lot more brazen about saying it, and people have just been like, okay, and like I'll go find something else. Yep. That's why you're seeing, but something like Godzilla Minus One, you're seeing things like that succeed because they're not coming out and insulting the people who might actually show up to buy tickets. It's a crazy way to do things, and that's what I'm saying is it's like it is that, but that's a symptom of the lack of talent ultimately. Because a lot of them can't write. They don't, like we were talking about, they can't write. They don't have passion. And then you get on top of that.
That's what I mean. There's not that passionate desire to create something.
Yeah.
To show on the screen an adaptation that you care deeply about, that you respect, and you're trying to honor the passion, even more so to where you're saying to where now their ideology has become religious to them, and this person represents a stark contrast, everything that they're against. Mm-hmm. So how likely are they going to be able to capture that?
No. Well, because they don't know how to look outside of like your, the bubble or whatever now. Yep. Everything's so focused on that. And again, it goes back to that thing. It's popular to do that. It doesn't matter if it doesn't. For a lot of these people now, it doesn't matter if it doesn't make money. Clearly, you know, and we're just like stuck in that loop right now. It's like we'll get pretty good stuff because I don't like, and I've fallen into this in the past, but like I don't like the idea that just because it doesn't have anything that is quote unquote woke, makes it good. Like
Exactly.
it's really easy
100%.
to fall into that trap, and it doesn't mean that if there's something
just because someone just because a certain celebrity or somebody makes a statement that you agree with, what they tend to do is like, oh hey, J.K. Rowling made this statement, she's one of us, and it's like, no, she just made. There's one thing that
there's one specific thing that she's like old school feminist on. Like she believes specifically in women and sees the trans movement as something that is anti-woman, and she's been very clear on that. But she's still pretty much every other view she has, I guarantee. Like, you know, I don't know how she feels about taxing the rich, but she lives in, you know, Great Britain or whatever, so she's getting the crap taxed out of her every year, regardless. Though she's wealthy enough that I bet she's got people who are helping her get around a lot of that. You don't get to that level of like wealth without figuring out a way to hold on to as much of it as possible. That's why she doesn't care. She can like say, she can talk about those things and be like, oh, I'm all for that. And it's like, okay. But yeah, man, it's not there. It's just pop. Like people have this, like, I think had this dream of like being in Hollywood and doing these things, but it's the prestige of the job more than it is like actually caring about what you're doing.
Right.
Not everybody, obviously. I just think that Peter Jackson's kind of, I don't feel bad because I really do love that trilogy, but like, and I was going to say washed up. I just think that he's like, you've said this before though, but like that his passions are in other areas. The problem is he's
technical side.
Yeah. The problem is it's like green lighting these things or jumping on board with these things that are like definitely not things that people want.
I feel like he is being forced to at gunpoint.
Yeah,
That's what
he's being held against his will.
Yeah.
Help us make more Lord of the Rings slop,
Or else.
No kidding, dude. Well, I think it's a good place to stop for tonight. Well, is there anything else that you want to? I'm trying to think. Everything else we have, we can kind of wait to talk about.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's wait.
Cool. And you're good for next week?
Yeah, I'm good.
Sweet. Okay. Well, thank you all, whether you showed up to the live stream or whether you're one of our many listeners who check us out in the podcast version of this. Thank you guys for listening, and thank you for showing up. And Joseph, if that's everything, until next time, y'all take it easy.
See ya.